Hello, world. Happy almost Halloween. Here, Frida Reba Darcy and Patricia O'Connor here, and today we're going to go out on the balcony and do just a little bit of catching up on what's going on. Um, this is our first serious video with the new camera. It's in one of the lesser modes. I've got some high resolution stuff I want to do with this camera at some point. Right now, we are in one of the training wheels mode, just called cinematic. It's supposed to look a little better than average, but it's not the data hog that some of the other. But I've got like 4 pieces of kit and 2 apps to learn, and I've got to make them all learn to play well together. So that may take me a minute. In the meanwhile, this is me playing with cinematic mode. Last night I shot a video that was not fit for consumption. So yeah, it didn't meet even our stringent standards. So so I pulled it. This being a little bit of a redo. But I thought I would show you what we did do last night. What we did do last night was we repotted this guy. Let me see. This is Frankenpine, and we repotted Frankenpine in one of Elizabeth over at Hanada Ceramics, in one of Elizabeth's beautiful little bonsai pots. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Also, quick look at our ponderosa that we put in a bonsai pot a few days ago. Other than that, we are back in like almost 80 again up here. It feels cooler than it has been, but by the end of day, all the way up here, our temperatures begin to climb. So I think we're going to see some more warmer temperatures for a little while, but then they're already forecasting the cold stuff. So let's wait and see how that comes out. I'm thinking that'll be pretty interesting, and I'm just kind of going around popping focus on all of our trees. This is Simply Pea, and it's doing well. It's got its. We did a repot of this several months ago, and also I did this shari work. Come on, you can yeah. We did that shari work on there. You can see those cuts. So it seems to be doing nicely. These little pines here are in their terracotta pots. They are greening up and growing like little weeds. And here is our stash of ponderosas. Seeing some little burnt tips here. I believe that's probably heat related. I could be wrong, but I believe that's heat related. And then our little pines back there in the back, they all seem to be doing good. And we are getting ready for Halloween. And here's a quick look at one of our latest acquisitions, this little Japanese black pine. Bingo. That's bingo. And then I'm just going to pull back, and we'll look at pondos and Japanese black pines. The focal length on this is really short. I guess that's what they mean by cinematic. But it pulls focus really fast. Also, this phone does something weird. It will take in enough data to where if, like, for instance, that pine tree in the background that's totally out of focus, if I shot this video with that totally out of focus, or like that, yeah, with that tree like that totally out of focus, if I then went in editing and decided that I wanted this video to be all about that tree and my hand, I can shoot this and then after the fact make it go in focus, because what it takes in enough data to make everything it wants to be in focus. It just decides what is and what isn't as a matter of artistic algorithm, I suppose. So yeah. All right. This is us in cinematic mode doing a little quick look on how all of our trees are looking, and just a quick look at some of our fall colors. They would be coming on a little more quickly if we could get a little more fall weather a little longer. And then I'm going to pin focus over there on our little 17-year from seed Japanese pine. This was started by Jonas over at Bonsai Balcony. This was another one of his trees some years ago. He took care of this. This is the Japanese black pine cork bark. That is our other cork bark. It is a cork bark oak. And that's our trident maple. Still has chlorophyll, still has green, still just, don't really look that closer to fall. On our and on our Dawn Redwood either, it's still pretty flushed out. Green is still photosynthesized. And I'm going to pull back and pull in a look. This is our ponderosa. We got this tree probably 6 months ago. In a few months, it will go to Peter T's garden, so it can overwinter someplace that is a little closer to what it's used to. That way, it'll shut down properly, and it will not just run into the ground the way they say ponderosas will do. I don't want to take any chances with this tree. I'd like to next spring start practicing doing some grafting on my baby ponderosas, and then while I've still, the best time to graft a tree, from what I've learned, is right after you stall a tree, because that makes it more likely for the grafts to take. It's just all of those hormone reallocation and all that stuff, getting busy and getting shook up, kind of helps your chances. So this would then be the great time to do grafts. I think I need to practice and learn grafting before I start trying to stick buds on this tree. So what I'm thinking about that is probably next spring I will start on some of my baby pondos, and then once I've got maybe a dozen or so of those in, we might try one or two on this and see how it goes, and then next year we'll try to do one or two more, and that way we can start over time replacing the foliage on this. And there's a whole process. You don't just flank the buds and then cut all the old buds off. It takes a little time. The hormone allocation is a little different. You need to kind of lean into one and then leave a toe in the other for a minute, just to make sure everything's okay. And that's kind of in with that, I'm going to have to learn grafting. So much, not have to learn, I get to learn grafting. I'm a person who a couple of years ago went through some little personal changes, and that was a lot of change and a lot of learning. And I discovered early on that depending on my attitude, this could either be the adventure of a lifetime or a big old hassle, depending on the exchange of one or two words. I have to learn everything all over again versus I get to learn everything all over again. One is more positive and more exciting, and kind of sets your brain and body and heart and soul up for the acceptance of a lot of stuff that's going to be new to you. And that's kind of way, and in that kind of way, it kind of makes learning things, once you learn that, it makes learning other things a little easier sometimes. I was looking at some of the lessons I'm trying to learn on cameras, and I'm listening to these guys, and I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of it. And I had to think, last year I was listening to another programs about something else I was trying to learn. And at first, all of that dialogue sounded foreign to me also, only understanding a few words of it, and everything else was just industry lingo. But after a while, it starts sounding less like Latin and starts sounding more like stuff that you get. And I have to think about how many times I've learned things going through a process like that. And the cooler you are about it, the easier it is on you, and the more quickly you absorb information. There's nothing that'll stop the process or slow down the process, like the feeling of being overwhelmed. May this never be overwhelming. May this always be fun. Speaking of fun, I hope everybody is getting ready to have a good Halloween. I hope everybody is having a good fall where you are, and you're seeing lots of good fall colors, and your trees are doing well. Our trees are still looking kind of a little closer to summer colors than fall colors. Some fall colors, but not a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already, and our next video will be something on the bench tonight. Tomorrow night we'll probably do some Halloween special.